Friend, let me ask you something simple and dangerous. When you call a thing just, what do you mean? Not what others mean, what you mean. Today I'll walk beside you through 3 tempting answers and break each one cleanly, so you leave with one practical test you can use before your next hard decision. You think of your last tricky moment. A message you could send that would protect a friend but mislead a client. A payment you could make that keeps a promise but harms someone. Our single question is this: what is justice itself, such that calling an act just is not flattery, but truth? When I say justice, I'm talking about the stable order in a human life that makes actions fitting, not merely legal or useful. Let's begin where the conversation first flared, in a bustling port over wine and age and the comfort of wealth. An elder, cheerful in old age, offered a tidy answer. Justice is telling the truth and paying what you owe. Fine words. But imagine this. You borrowed your friend's knife when he was in his right mind. Now he returns, raving, wild-eyed, demanding the blade. If justice is simply pay your debts and speak the truth, should you hand it back and announce, "Here is your knife"? Or would that be the act of someone who loves harm? Consider your inbox. A client asks for data that, taken today, would mislead them into a ruinous choice. You owe a reply. Do you send a precise, literal sentence that you know they will misread, and then congratulate yourself for telling the truth? Notice how a neat rule, repay and be literal, breaks when it collides with the good of the person before you. So the first answer, however respectable, is too small. Justice cannot be a blind cashier. It must see persons. Try this now. Think of one promise you've made recently. If you kept it in a way that knowingly harmed the person, does the keeping still feel just? Hold that feeling. It will guide us as we press on. A younger man steps forward with a fiercer slogan. Help your friends, harm your enemies. That sounds loyal-like, a proper Athenian drinking toast. But tell me, are your friends always good and your enemies always bad? And even if an enemy is bad, does harming him make him better? If justice is a virtue, can it plant vice? Let's pull on that thread until it snaps or holds. Picture a workplace. Someone wronged you, cut you out of credit, mocked you in a meeting. The friend in enemy out rule invites you to freeze them, to design small, sharp harms, slow replies, cold shoulders, quiet sabotage. Now ask, does this make them better at the virtues a city needs? Moderation, courage, fairness? Or does it train the wolf in them and in you? Justice, if it is a strength of soul, should not be the art of poisoning. It should heal, or at least refrain from making worse. There is another trap inside that motto. We often misjudge. We praise a friend's flattery as goodness, and we curse an enemy's hard truth as malice. If justice is do good to friends, harm enemies, and our sight is crooked, then justice becomes a mirror of our likes and hatreds. That is not a compass. It's a weather vane. So we set aside the second answer as well. Enter the loud voice, the man who bangs the table. Justice is the advantage of the stronger. Laws are a costume the powerful wear to keep their grip. You can feel the sting of that. Many cities act as if it were true. But let's examine it, not by outrage, but by craft. When I say craft, techne, I mean an expertise that aims at its object's good, not the practitioner's appetite. Medicine aims at the body's health. Navigation aims at the sailor's safe passage. The true shepherd aims at the flock's good. Notice the connection. In every real craft, the measure of success is the subject's flourishing, not the expert's feast. So ask, what is the craft of ruling? If there is such a thing, it should aim at the ruled community's genuine good. That means a law is not just because it fattens the rulers, but because it orders a living whole toward health. If the stronger issue commands that poison the body politic, then on our craft model they are bad orders, and obedience to them is not justice but servility. The table banger has given us a useful provocation, only to be disarmed by the very idea of expertise. We have broken 3 popular masks off the face of justice, and yet we have not named justice itself. Good, good, that honest emptiness, aporia, fruitful puzzlement is where learning begins. From here, we can set one small rule you can carry into tomorrow, a compass you can actually use in the storms of choice. Here is the rule, and listen closely, because it is simple and stern. When you are unsure whether an action is just, ask which craft it imitates and whose good it serves. If your plan imitates a craft doctor, pilot, teacher, and its clear aim is the health of the patient, the safety of the crew, the development of the pupil, you are walking toward justice. If it mainly secures your own comfort, your party's victory, or your vanity's applause, you are drifting toward injustice, even if the law smiles on you. Notice how this plays with our earlier cases. The knife, the craft of friendship, aims at a friend's good, not blind repayment. So you withhold the blade and seek help. The loyalty slogan, the craft of human improvement does not harm, because harm makes souls worse. The cynic's claim about power, the craft of ruling is measured by the ruled community's flourishing, not the ruler's pleasure. This is not the final definition of justice, but it is a working lamp. Use it to light the next few steps. In a world of glittering slogans, the craft test cuts through the fog. If I had to distill today into 3 short lines, first, neat rules, repay, be loyal, obey the strong, collapse when they collide with the good of the soul. Second, justice behaves like a real craft. It serves its subject, not the practitioner's appetite. Third, confusion is not failure. It is the opening of the eye. Your 24-hour practice. Before you send one important message, pause and apply the craft test. Say aloud, whose good is this serving? Then add one sentence to the message that makes the recipient's real good clearer, clarifying a risk, naming a false comfort, or offering a next best step. Small, concrete, and today. You have been brave to question your slogans. Keep the craft test close. Next we face a harsher trial. Justice, with no witnesses, no prizes. Would you still choose it? We'll find out together.